So the Engwe EP2 Boost e-bike, is it any good? Well, we're going to test it out in this video, people, and see how we get on. I'm going to tell you some of the features and how to use it, and I'm going to give you a list of the things that I do like, and I'm going to give you a list of the things that I don't like. And then you can decide whether or not you think this e-bike is actually any good. Hey everyone, so Engwe got in touch with me and asked if I wanted to review their Engwe EP2 Boost e-bike. And I thought, well, I don't want to be the only YouTuber without an e-bike, so I've agreed to it. So a quick disclaimer, people, I am not being paid any money by this company to make this video. I do not have a script. These are all my own words. I can say anything I want to say. However, I have received this bike for free, so something to bear in mind. Right, well, it has arrived, people. It is a big, heavy box. So yeah, let's get it open and see what it's like. Yep, she comes well packaged. So there is a bit of assembly to do here. The wheel has got to be attached, the seat has got to be attached, the mud guards, and there's a few things like a backlight, and handlebars have to be attached. Yeah, there's a few things to assemble. They do give you instructions, and there's some pedals in here. There's a little pump that looks like a sort of not, you know, not really going to be that amazing, but yeah. So we'll see how we get on with it. Now, I'm a bloke, so what I will do is I will just try and wing it for about half an hour. Then I'll lose my cool, throw my toys out of the pram, and then I will resort to the instructions. So yeah, let's see how we get on with it. You do get a set of tools to put this together. Yeah, so not the easiest thing to put together, but it wasn't too bad. Probably should pay attention to the instructions though. But yeah, it's looked pretty good actually. I'm quite liking it. Pretty beefy. Let's go test this bad boy out then, eh people? So when you first get an e-bike, obviously the first thing that comes to mind is I could get a Deliveroo bag, ride through the city and knock elderly people over. But you don't actually have to do that. You can actually come out here on some lovely dirt tracks and have some really leisurable, enjoyable rides. So it is really simple to use. You put the key in the bottom here, turn the key, and then you push this button here and that will turn on the electric motor, and your little gauge thing there will come up, and then you've got a plus and minus button here. Push them to decide which setting you want the motor on, and then the boost button is here, and you just push that when you're pedaling up a hill, and all of a sudden, boom, you're cruising. Yeah, really decent, really easy to use, which is good because people like me aren't very good with technology. Yeah. So when I first saw a picture of this, I did sort of think, I don't really know if that's for me, because I like the sort of standard mountain bike look, you know. These, they just, on pictures, they just don't look right. I'm a bit old-fashioned, people, you know. But when I unboxed it and I put it together and I looked at it, I thought, you know what, it actually looks like a total beast. And it's a lot bigger than I thought. And it is pretty comfortable, to be fair. I didn't think I'd find it comfortable sitting up like that. Yeah, I didn't think I would, but I actually do. And I think on my mountain bike I'm leaning over a lot and I always have to get up and stretch my back. Well, on here I don't. It's actually a pretty good position, and I'm surprised how enjoyable sitting in this position actually is. Yeah, I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. I didn't expect that at all. Yeah. Now you have to pedal in order for it to work. You can't just push a button and it goes. You have to pedal, but once you start pedaling, it starts going. So it's a 7-gear bike, 7 Shimano gears. Now I don't know much about bikes, but Shimano are meant to be a pretty good brand. I know that much anyway. Yeah. Now to be fair, I would normally think 7 gears on a bike nowadays just isn't enough. It doesn't sound like enough at all. But to be fair, I've rid this quite a bit recently, and I've only really had it in 1 or 2 gears. So you don't really need that many gears when you've got an electric motor doing most of the work for you. So yeah, I actually think 7 gears is fine. I don't see the need for any more. So if you have the motor set in the first setting, you can actually get just under 75 miles out of this, which is pretty good. And I'm actually pretty surprised how good the first setting is. I thought you wouldn't be able to notice a difference, but once you start pedaling, you can really notice it. So to me, you can get 75 miles out of this on a nice leisurely bike ride pretty easily. So yeah, I'm quite impressed by that. Now if you have it in a higher setting, like setting 5, and you keep pressing the boost button, obviously that's going to make a difference. And obviously if you're going uphill all the way, 75 miles, that's probably going to make a difference as well. But yeah, I'm quite surprised how good the first setting on here is and how responsive that is, to be fair. So it is a 250 watt e-bike this. I think because we are in the UK, we have restrictions and stuff like that, you know, unfortunately. So because of the EU and UK restrictions, this bike is restricted to 15.5 miles an hour. Now, you can go over 15.5 miles an hour, but when you go over, the motor will cut out, which is a little bit annoying, yeah, I must say. Now you can go on YouTube and find videos of people showing you how to bypass that and how to remove the restriction. Now I'm not suggesting anyone breaks the law. I am 100% law-abiding citizen. I've never broken any law in my life. And if you believe that, you'll probably believe anything. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to encourage you to break the law, but you can find ways to do that, remove the restrictions. Two disc brakes as well, people. Oh yeah, disc brakes. Yeah, front suspension. Can't be bad, eh? So she does come with front and back lights and also brake lights. Now that's pretty good. That's a pretty decent feature. I like that. Living the dream, people. So, is there anything I don't like about this bike? Well, there are a few minor things. Now, they're not really deal breakers. They're just minor things. So on the top of the suspension, you got these bits here. Now, they're a different colour. That slightly irritates me. So when I attach the rear light, you're supposed to cable tie the wire up here. Now, the wire, in my opinion, is a little bit short, and it's a little bit close to the tyre. So that wire, in my opinion, should be a bit longer. That way you could have it go up here and here, or all the way along there, rather than it being so close to the wheel there. Now it's probably not really an issue because you've got the mudguard thing here, so any stick that comes up is going to hit that first. Although one thing I will say is that riding this mudguard does make a lot of noise. And now obviously you can take that off, you don't have to have that on there, and I might actually take that off because it is quite irritating, and especially for someone like me who likes to see wildlife. You know, I'm out trying to see birds and foxes and all sorts, and they're going to hear this rattling a mile away, so I might remove that. That is a bit irritating. It is heavy, it is. So lifting it over a stile, I mean, I can lift this with one hand, but a lot of you won't be able to. So you want to be taking it on proper cycle tracks, you know. Getting this over a stile is not going to be easy. So that's something to bear in mind. So the brakes are the wrong way round. Now maybe that's a regional thing, but for me, the front brake would be this one on your right hand side, and your back brake would be on the left, but on this it's the other way round. That's not how I'm used to it. Bonker Ben's an old man, he doesn't like change. But to be fair, those are minor things and I can live with them. So in general, I'm really happy with this e-bike. I think it's a pretty good bit of kit. Those are just minor little things that do bug me. But they're not going to stop me enjoying this bike. I still think it's a great bike and I still really like it. I'm still really happy with it. So starting from the bottom here, people, and heading up this incline, you might not see how good an incline it is in setting number 1. The first bit is a little bit tricky, but once you get going, yeah, cruising. Setting number 1. So let's try setting number 5, people, with the boost button. See how we get on. Oh yep, she's picking up some pace. Hell yeah, woo! So when I first got on this, I found going fast and taking corners a little bit awkward because I normally don't turn the bars, I normally lean. And then if no one's around, I put my knee out and pretend I'm Carl Fogarty, you know? But yeah, it's harder to do that on this. But once you get used to that, it's just, yeah, it's a pleasure. And it is a real pleasure to just ride down country lanes and country tracks. So one thing I've noticed is that when I'm riding along, I think I've got the motor at full potential and I'm just pedaling at a steady pace. And then I pedal a little bit harder and then all of a sudden, vroom, the motor kicks in and I'm off even faster and I'm like, oh, there was more juice in the tank. Yeah, that keeps surprising me. Yeah, but hey, as I'm new to this, I'm still getting used to it. But yeah, long distance trips, this is great. So this bike does fold. You can put the handlebars down like so. And then you come around here, or maybe you should do the handlebars last. Pull that apart. And boom. Check that out. Yeah, and the pedals can fold in as well. I'm not going to be able to do that now from the position I'm in, but yeah, so you can fold this up and put it in the boot of most cars. Well, I'd imagine you put it in the boot of nearly every car. But yeah, that's pretty decent, eh? Now the battery is stored in there. Now you can take the battery out and charge the battery separately, or you can just leave the bike complete and plug a wire into a little socket around here. So yeah, very quick to assemble and deassemble, if that is a correct word. I don't think it is it, people? But hey, this is the Bongo Ben Show, and we just make up words as we go along. Boom. Job done there. Job done there. Good to go. No, she's not. I've done it the wrong way. Oh no. Handlebars are the wrong way. There we go, people. There we go. Living the dream. So the bike does come in 3 colours. Now I requested black because, like Johnny Cash, I'm the man in black. I like black. It does also come in grey, and that looks a nice bike, to be fair. I like the grey, and there is an orange. Now I'll be honest with you, people, I can't stand orange. I didn't like the look of that at all. Everyone's got their own taste though, so, you know. And I suppose orange does have a purpose. It shows up easier, so it's easier to be seen. So, you know, some might like it, but my personal preference, no. But the black, I like it. I think it's a nice looking bike. I like the black with the red. Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent bike. Yeah, I'm really genuinely happy with it, to be fair. Now, they are actually one of the cheaper brands as well, Engwe. This bike is under £1,000, which for an e-bike is very good. So they are a pretty decent brand and they are a very reasonable price. So yeah. So there'll be a link in the description of this video for anyone who's interested in checking out these e-bikes, and there will also be discount codes in the description of this video. You can get £50 off orders from £4.99 to £9.99. You can get £100 off orders from £1,000 to £1,499. You can get £150 off orders from £1,500 to £1,999. And you can get £200 off for orders that are over £2,000. So yeah, if anyone's interested, check them out and see what you think. So this beast is going to come out with me on a few trips and a few videos. We're going to do some bike rides. I got some trips planned. Now, I already have about 15 campsite review videos recorded. So it's not going to be for about 15 weeks. So if you're a subscriber and you watch the next 15 videos and wonder why hasn't the e-bike featured, it's because they've already been recorded. But I am going to take this out and do some long distance bike rides, campsite review videos. So yeah, something to look forward to, people. So if you're new to the channel, people, I normally do campsite review videos. We head off out to campsites, we check out the facilities, and then we go and explore what is around nearby the campsite. If you think that's something you're interested in, then this video here is a very popular campsite review video I've done, and so is this one here. Give them a click, give them a watch, see what you think. And then this video up here is a power bank I've reviewed. If you think you might be of interest to you, give it a click, give it a watch, and see what you think. Anyway, I'm going to head off home now, get some tea in me. Cheers for watching, everyone. Keep living the dream.